It wasn't just CU students that defaced the third Flatiron. More than 40 years ago, a Sooners fan turned the C into an O for that weekend's football game against Oklahoma. Leary is used to taking on big challenges. Believe it or not, before he took on the coffee roaster, he was a car mechanic here in Boulder. The anti-terrorism funding program has come under criticism before. Last year, the two cities hit hardest by the 9/11 attacks, New York and Washington, D.C., both saw a 40% cut in their funding. The real question at this point is whether the glitz that comes with Beckham's arrival will cause Americans to catch Europe's football fever. As a part of Holocaust Awareness Week, students placed these 25,000 flags on the Northern Quad to represent the over 8 million victims of the Holocaust. Homeland Security Secretary Michael Chertoff was at the Long Beach Port Authority today, unveiling new radiation monitors. They are used to detect weapons-grade uranium that could be smuggled through our ports by terrorists, uranium that could be used to make a nuclear bomb. But the real story is that LA now gets 10% less in federal monies to fight all types of terrorism.
There's only one pie. The way we've decided to slice the pie is to put most of the money where most of the risk is.
Not everyone thinks that pie is being divided fairly. Homeland Security has determined that the terrorist threat is also high in several other California cities. That means LA could receive $8 million less for its programs.
We're the second largest city in America. You cannot justify cutting back to anti-terrorism funding at this time of increased risk of attack from Al-Qaeda and Al-Qaeda sympathizers throughout the world.
Some say you should cut out cities like San Diego. It should all go to New York or D.C. or Los Angeles. I've got to balance. I got to look at the big picture.
Trying to learn on lane one.
Some U.S. security experts question the cuts, especially since Chertoff says there is a greater chance of a U.S. attack this summer. The anti-terrorism funding program has come under criticism before. Last year, the two cities hit hardest by the 9/11 attacks, New York and Washington, D.C., both saw a 40% cut in their funding.
Vulnerabilities in our society are infinite. Our resources for security are finite.
The impacts won't be obvious to members of the public unless an attack occurs.
The first line of attack may be through the ports, and Los Angeles wants to be ready. Officials say that is a difficult task without enough money. Rebecca Sunshine, CBS News, Los Angeles. Talk about a wild welcome. David and Victoria Beckham arrived in LA last night to the chaos of fans and flashbulbs at LAX. Today, the commotion continued as the LA Galaxy introduced their newest player.
And I've always looked for challenges in my career and something exciting in my life.
The Galaxy is expected to pay back a whopping $32.5 million over the next 5 years. Add to that up to $250 million from endorsement deals.
He could be our Michael Jordan.
That is quite the name to live up to, since only 15 million Americans play soccer. The real question at this point is whether the glitz that comes with Beckham's arrival will cause Americans to catch Europe's football fever.
In Britain, the name recognition for David and Victoria Beckham is 100%, more than anybody else in the country. In America, it's 50%.
There is no doubt that Beckham is an international superstar, but he has a long way to go before he gets that same status in America.
The most important thing is my family. The second thing is the soccer. I'll get used to that at some point, I'm sorry.
Hopefully he'll get used to that soon. Rebecca Sunshine, CBS News, Los Angeles. Saving our planet is not an easy job, but somebody's got to do it. McKenna Stevens shows us environmentalists from all over Colorado gathered to find out how. Our other big story today, flames continue to tear through Southern California. Fire officials say over 13,000 homes have been destroyed so far. CNN's Dan Simon has more from San Diego. Just a quick correction, it's actually 1,300 homes, not 13,000 homes that have been destroyed. National Guard troops are posted at Qualcomm Stadium, which has become a temporary home for 10,000 evacuees. Most reporters aren't a part of the story they cover, but for one reporting on the wildfires in California, the story hit closer to home. Larry Himmel of KFMB watched and reported as his house burned down behind him.